Let's get you the starting lineups in this afternoon's game between the CWC men and the Lamar Lopes here from Central Wyoming College. The final game of the Basketball Classic, the Invitational this weekend. And we'll start with your Central Rustlers. Just two returners back. One of them is the point guard, number 1, Jalen Gentry, a 5'9" sophomore. Played in all 31 games, had 57 threes to lead the team last year. And you think that Jacob Smith, who ends up as the leading three-point shooter, the most in modern-day history, didn't even have the most on the team as Jalen Gentry had 57 last year.
I was surprised when you just said it, in fact, but
Jalen out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I was a conversationalist, too, if you see him in the hallway.
He is your point guard. Johnny Levias, a 6'5" freshman. He is from Vallejo, California. He is wearing number 3. The other returner for Coach Schmidt is number 3, Abdi Dahir. Abdi, a 6'6" sophomore, played in 25 games last year. He's from Portland, Oregon, and he had 13. His season high was 13 last year. Jalen Gentry's season high at 25.
He let him block shots. I'm sure of that from last year.
Abdi was a good shot blocker for sure. Number 4 is another newcomer, a 6'4" freshman out of Newberg, Oregon. He loves his Oregon State Beavers by the jacket he wears. That is Jack Klumak, who is wearing number 4. And the other starter tonight, number 33, is Kaden Koch. Koch, a 6'5" freshman out of Las Vegas. Didn't play very much at Western, got into foul trouble, and you heard Coach Schmidt say in the pregame interview that they're adjusting their pickage a little bit at the top to keep him out of foul trouble, because that's where he got a lot of his, was setting those offensive picks as well. So those will be your starters: Gentry, Levias, Dahir, Klumak, and Koch, your 5 that start for the Rustlers. On the other side, the Lamar Lopes. This is the lineup that they started yesterday for Coach Sellers. Number 3 is Bryce Whitaker. He hit 4 threes yesterday. He's a 6-foot freshman out of Los Angeles, California. Doneto Joseph is a 6'7" freshman from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Tim Montgomery, a very good shooter on this team from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and kind of the team leader. Tim Montgomery, a 6'1" freshman. Number 11 is Khalil Haywood, a 6'5" freshman. Very athletic kid. He's a Los Angeles, California product. And then number 22 is Kavon Wiggins, the transfer from Monroe College in New York. He is from Rose Hall Town, Guyana, a 6'3" sophomore. 7 of 14 from three-point land yesterday. He had 36 points, and that is your other starter. We'll have the jump ball here in just a minute.
Yeah, just about a minute away from that. CWC huddled on their bench right now. Lamar getting some last-minute shots in before we start this ball game.
Head coach Brad Schmidt in his 3rd year. He is assisted this year by Sam Harrison. Gone is Taylor Lavery. Taylor, if you're listening, no, I'm kidding. Really great guy. One of my good friends, Taylor Lavery, now is working as an assistant.
He was 1-0 as a head coach here, remember?
That's right. He certainly was. He is working as an assistant somewhere in the southern Missouri, Mississippi area. I'm not 100% sure.
Those states aren't even close to each other.
They're both south somewhere. So that is where our boy Taylor Lavery is.
He could be in Cuba for all you know, it seems like.
Welcome in Sam Harrison, the assistant coach.
He's from the same town I used to live in fact.
Yeah, he's got some
Rockford Ill.
Some experience as he has been with. We don't have any camera people, I just noticed.
With Craig Doty. Actually, wasn't it with Craig Doty?
Yes.
Is that what you were about to say?
That's where I was going. It's just we didn't have any camera personnel, and that would be hard to watch the mid-court. So, oh, here they come. We got them taken care of now as they come trotting in right before the starting lineups are getting. We don't have students yet for our student broadcast crew, but we will have here in the near future Amanda Nikoloff and the new media degree putting our students here to work here shortly. So Steve Barlow, athletic director, running the PA, basically
through a mask.
Yeah, reminding everybody to keep that mask on as we get ready for the final game of the weekend. And Lamar dressed in their royal blues with white numbers. Number 3 there is Bryce Whitaker as they wave at the others. Doneto Joseph, number 4. Tim Montgomery wearing number 10. Number 11 is Khalil Haywood, and then Kavon Wiggins, who wears number 22.
There's also Lamar in 4-year colleges, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to give you this as well. We'll do the starting lineups for the Rustlers first. Jalen Gentry And then you're going to see a Johnny Levias. Number 3 is Abdi Dahir. Number 4, Jack Klumak. And number 3, Kaden Koch. This is the 6th meeting between these two teams. Lamar leads 4-1, but Central won last year at Rock Springs in the first game of the season, 81-68. They did play in the second round of the Region 9 tournament at Gillette recently. Lamar won that 60-57.
Boy, that was a tough loss, I recall.
Chris Quayle on that team from Riverton High School.
So we had
Jack
Reagan.
Nelson. Yes.
Not Reagan.
Marcus Nolan.
Nolan.
I believe is where you're going with that.
But Mike Reagan was a good friend of his. And he was.
Doneto Joseph will step into the midcourt circle as he will face Abdi Dahir. Central in their home whites, orange numbers, black trim. Lamar 0-1 on the year, Central 0-1 on the year. Dahir and Joseph, midcourt circle. Ball is in the air. It is controlled by, finally, Khalil Haywood. He'll get the ball to Wiggins, hands it off to Montgomery, back to Haywood. Central in a man-to-man defense.
Interesting, they played more zone last year than we've seen them play before, actually.
Shot falls off the mark, and the rebound by Levias. Top of the key, Klumak for 3. That one will not fall, and the rebound picked up by Khalil Haywood. So the team's trade misses to start off the basketball game. Outside, left side angle missing. Cook will pull down the rebound. Driving Levias, right side, lay-in is good. Johnny Levias taking advantage of a wide open lane, and he takes it to the rack in a minute gone. We're 2-0 Central out in front. Whitaker driving past Levias, tries to anyway, finally got shut off. Haywood out to Whitaker for 3, that one will miss. And Abdi Dahir the rebound. They tried a lot of threes yesterday, and I'll get to that stat here in a minute as Central runs over a player. That's Wiggins taking the charge, and it's Johnny Levias taking the foul.
And lost control of his dribble and tried to regather the ball. In doing that, he lost control and commits the offensive foul.
Lamar hit 15 three-pointers yesterday, and they shot a bundle of them. Looking at my box score, 15 of 36 they would shoot from the arc.
Not a bad percentage, though.
Kept him in the game. Wiggins stepped on the out-of-bounds line and will turn it over back to Central. First turnover of the game. 2-0 our score. Levias will fly it into Dahir, and they'll give it back to Gentry, and Montgomery is on him. And on this other end, watch Jack Klumak and Wiggins in their defensive battle on Wiggins, who scored 36 yesterday. And there's Jack losing the basketball out of his hands, out of bounds. And that'll even us up in turnovers at 1 apiece.
That would be an unforced turnover.
So Klumak now on Kavon Wiggins in that top of the screen.
Is he supposed to be the stopper? Does
That's
Brad believe?
Brad is banking on today as he'll battle through a screen there. Driving, Haywood loses it. That'll be a turnover back to the Rustlers. They're asking for a touch. Referee says not on my watch, apparently.
We typically get those in volleyball, don't we?
Just kind of a one-man press on Gentry, so he clears out and Klumak will bring it across the timeline. Cook wants to know the play. He'll finally, well, I still don't think they've gotten it to him, so he's just going to improvise. Sets a pick at the top, Gentry to Dahir. Klumak now guarded by Whitaker. Runs through a screen, pump fake up top. Levias back to Klumak, now Gentry. He'll dribble, drive baseline, shut off there. Klumak trailing the play. He's going to bounce off the back of the rim, and Kavon Wiggins will come out of the pack with the basketball. Lamar, Wiggins, 15 straight away. Not going to fly in, and a ball knocked out of bounds by Cook, I believe, and it will stay Lamar basketball. Triggering it in will be Tim Montgomery. Kind of the team leader, Coach Sellers told me on the phone interview a couple of days ago. Real close to a 5 count. That is a 5 count.
Used to be a running back for the Philadelphia Eagles named Tim Montgomery some time ago.
Kaden Koch and company getting the 5 count. We'll see our first sub into the ball game. Will Osborne will check in. Wearing number 13.
Really Colorado product.
Gentry with a 2-0 lead. We've played almost 3 minutes of basketball. He'll zigzag, float, get fouled. Bryce Whitaker in the area as Opti tried a 3 after the whistle. Whitaker will get the foul. Central ball underneath their own window and to the left. Klumak will set it in motion. 4 along the low baseline area. Lob it up to Cook. Kaden hooks it back to Dahir. Abdi back up top. Klumak with Whitaker on him defensively in a man-to-man. Had a give and go on the pick and roll as Abdi's going to run down the lane. He'll be rejected by Haywood.
Typically does the rejecting.
And it's taken away by Lamar. Whitaker. Abdi on him. He'll drive to the baseline. Baseline, Osborne for 15. That'll miss. Gentry the board. Back the other way come the Rustlers. Jalen up top, Cook. Doesn't even look at the 3. Jalen for 3. Wiggins the rebound. 2-0. We've played almost 4 minutes of basketball and have 2 points to show for it. 3 fresh Rustlers going to come in as Cook trying to take the charge. Does.
I'd like to see the replay where his feet were there. That was pretty darn close.
Exactly what the other coach is going to say is I don't think that he was inside of the arc. The other one's going to say it. So they'll say blocking foul. So they will confer as here we watch the replay, and we'll see where it goes. We're well behind here as, yes, he was inside the black and white lines on that. So good calls by the official as, number one, they confer to get the right call, and number two, they made the right call and had a player shaken up on that. Foul's going to go against Kaden Koch, his first. And it's a blocking foul. Is going to send Tim Montgomery to the line. Was it Montgomery that was the hurt player down here?
Yeah.
Yep, it was. But he is back on his feet. If your coach Sellers, that's not what you need, is another empty spot on the bench as Montgomery misses the first free throw. Going to see Sebastian Gaza into the ball game. Sebastian, a 6'9" freshman from Stuttgart, Germany. You'll also see Davis Richard, a 6'3" freshman out of Frederick, Colorado. As that second one is good, and then you'll see, is that Jalen? Jalen Searles, it is Jalen Searles, 6'7" freshman out of Seattle, Washington.
Alex Lawrence into the game for the first time for Lamar, by the way.
Lamar on the board, 1 of 2 free throws from Montgomery. 2-1 our score. Central. Right side, Richard, baseline 3, won't shoot it. Central working the perimeter. Searles, right side, actually left side angle. Penetrates, spins, floats, looking for a fader, doesn't go. Saved by Kavon Wiggins. He has 3 rebounds already, no points yet though after he scored 36 yesterday. Lawrence has that ball knocked out of his hands. It'll be thrown out of bounds. They'll say off Lamar and they'll give Central the basketball. 3rd turnover on the Lopes. And we'll see Trey Sims for Central for the first time on the home floor. Sims, a 6'5" freshman out of Ogden, Utah. 2-1 our score. 5 minutes almost we've played of basketball, and it's 2-1.
CWC subbing pretty liberally already, and Lamar is subbing as much as they can.
Sims throws it away as Searles kind of didn't make the play on the low block ahead of him, and that'll be number 3 on their turnovers as well.
I feel like you're seeing some early season turnovers, I think, in this game so far.
Kind of getting the feel for each other as a team and as the opponent. Haywood working on Searles, gives the ball to Whitaker. He's got Davis Richard on him defensively. Whitaker penetrates, spins into the paint. Outside, Khalil Haywood for 3 is off the mark, and a rebound by Gaza. Sebastian, his first board. Gentry, long 3 in front of the Lamar bench is off the mark, but Searles a rebound. Searles baseline, takes it to the rack, double clutch, got his own rebound, spins and throws it away. 4 turnovers on Central now. Baseline, fighting behind the glass is no good. Haywood the rebound, that is good, and he is fouled. And Lamar has their first lead of the basketball game. Foul is on Sebastian Gaza, his first. Klumak back into the ball game. Caleb Koski will check into the ball game for the first time for Central. Caleb Koski is 6'7" freshman out of Syracuse, Utah.
Peyton Williams from that town.
Peyton on our CWC volleyball team. They got a split this weekend, going 2-2. Khalil Haywood at the line, 3-point play, good. 4-2 Lamar out in front. 4-0 run by Lamar, if you can call 4 points a run.
Boy, very low scoring out of the blocks here.
Koski, Davis Richard, left side, Searles, baseline, and a travel on Sims will be turnover number 5 on Brad Schmidt's team.
Boy, that name Richard makes you think of the Richards, you know, that played here. Which,
brothers Chase and
Preston,
yep. And unfortunately, one of them already gone from this earth.
But 2 players gone from that team, in fact.
Yes. Left side, Haywood rejected, but a foul called. Klumak and Searles in the area. And they're going to go with Jack Klumak, and that'll be number 1 on Jack. And that'll send Haywood back to the line. Thanks for tuning in on RustlerAthletics.com. I'm John Gabrielson. That's Joel Kindle. Broadcasting from high atop Rustler Gym, and the rafters, in fact, as Haywood's free throws is good. Normally we're courtside, but COVID violations or COVID regulations, I guess, booting us up to higher perch.
Wonder if we'll be courtside at all this season. Good question.
Maybe not for a game, but hopefully getting a crowd eventually, as Haywood's second is good. Haywood has 5 of their 6 right now. And it is a 6-0 run by Lamar after Central scored the first bucket of the ball game. Levias throws up an air ball, and it's rebounded by Montgomery. Driving Haywood, and they'll call him for a travel before he gets to the rack. I thought he got fouled, but the travel first, and that'll be number 4 on Lamar, their turnovers.
You know, talking about COVID-19, as you were running down those schedules, you could sure see the tentativeness, or tentatively, these schedules, how they are.
Right. Already changed. They were to host Colorado Northwestern next week, but not the case. Koski, baseline, shut off nicely on defense by Osborne. Levias penetrating, lost the handle, and then fouled. I think he might have got bailed out a little bit there. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but I think the ball might have already been out by the time that happened. Lawrence gets the call. 3rd team foul. Nope, just 2nd team foul on the visitors. Kavon Wiggins will check back into the ball game. He'll check in for Will Osborne. Richard will send it inbounds. Lob it up to Levias, now Klumak. Koski playing catch around the perimeter with it, with 5 Rustlers. Seven on the shot clock. Levias for 3, doesn't go. Whitaker, Central just not shooting the ball real great right now, as there's a shot underneath by Haywood. He's got 7 of their 8, and Jack Schmidt wants, Jack Schmidt, how about Brad Schmidt, kind of combining Jack Nelson and Brad Schmidt, but Brad Schmidt wants a timeout as we have an 8-0 run now by the Lamar Lopes. With 13:02 left, they lead 8-2 is our score. If you need Rustler gear to support Central Wyoming College athletics, the CWC Bookstore has what you need at cwcbookstore.com. They feature hoodies, quarter zips, vests, t-shirts, even sports-specific t-shirts. They also have stickers, mugs, blankets, coffee mugs, and more. I mentioned the mugs. They have the stainless steel ones. Best part is they're open 24/7 online. CWCBookstore.com. They will ship your Rustler gear right to your door. CWCBookstore.com.
And Andrew, there's my man to talk Southeast Conference sports. His dad works at Mississippi State. He is from Tennessee, so he's all over the SEC.
And I think he's a Packer fan, so they'll play tomorrow and see if they can
but not in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
get to the Super Bowl. Is that where Favre was from? Where was Favre?
That's where Southern Mississippi is located, where he played.
Okay. There you go. Gentry back into the ball game with Levias.
The Golden Eagles down there.
Koch, Richard, and Koski, the 5 on the floor for Central. Nice wrap around, lay it up and in. Levias, the recipient of a great pass from Cook. Good drawn up set play by the Rustlers to come out of the timeout. And it's 8-4.
Nice assist from your post, too. You don't see a lot of, post assists.
Yeah, great dish by Koch as well. Montgomery is going to score over Gentry, as a little size advantage there, and Tim Montgomery gets the bucket. Davis Richard. I asked him, I said, is Davis a family name? And he says, I don't know, my mom just wanted something different. So shot is short. Rebound Koch, that will not go. Running it down, and the rebound is Wiggins. And Lamar back the other way with a 10-4 advantage. Wiggins going to go the distance. Reverse is no good as it spins out. Koski the rebound. Gentry, right side, Richard gets it back, lights it up for 3. The lefty is good. Davis Richard for 3, cuts the lead in half. 10-7 our score now as we approach the midpoint of the first half of men's basketball from CWC. Alex Lawrence back into the game. Whitaker, now Haywood working on Koch, and he shimmies and travels as he tries to go past Kaden. And the turnover is number 5 on the Lopes as Koski will come out. Abdi Dahir will check back in. Missing some names like James Woods, Jacob Smith, Darius Gwynn. The name escapes me of our Rada Briscoe. That was the one I was thinking of. David Richard from 3 at the top, no good. Abdi, though, the rebound, and they'll reload. Gentry's going to go the distance. He'll be strafed and blocked and taken away.
And he might have been blocked personally, in fact, it looked like.
Montgomery's 3 the other way, no good. Dahir shut off by Whitaker. He'll pull back.
That was a big play by Whitaker because Gentry was wide open at the other end.
He kind of just got in the grill of Abdi and took away any chance of fast break action. Jalen, bounce baseline, Abdi. Brings it back out to the 3-point line. Nice step around, lay it up and in with the left hand. Great step around his defender who had came in to help side defense. It's a 1-point ball game. 10-9, Central trailing by 1. Going to see Searles, and we'll also see Jake Maddox into the game for the first time. Osborne, actually it's Lawrence for 3. That's no good. Abdi Dahir the rebound. Bounce pass, Gentry. He'll travel with it as he didn't set his feet to take off at the 3-point line. And that turnover gives it back. Welcome Jake Maddox to the ball game. Jake, a 6'1 freshman out of Los Lunas, New Mexico. He'll check in. Davis Richard will check out. Also coming out, Levias.
Not sure where Los Lunas is, except for what you said, how it's close to Portal. It's just like I'm not sure of Frederick, Colorado either, for that matter.
Frederick is up in north of Denver, Fort Collins, Loveland area, I do believe.
Well, all the trips I've made to Fort Collins, I should know, but
Frederick, Firestone area, I think. I don't know. I could be completely off base on that one myself, as I've been wrong a time or two. Osborne, actually Lawrence, wide open for 3, and then Abdi and Koch battle for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Lamar. Sebastian Gaza back into the ball game with Jack Klumak. They were our camera crew for the last game for the ladies. Jack Klumak and Sebastian Gaza. Now the ladies returning the favor up here. Alex Lawrence comes out as Kavon Wiggins triggering the inbound. Gives it to Montgomery. Wiggins, Klumak in him, and Jack's going to get called for the foul as he screaming over to make the defensive play. That'll be his second personal foul on Jack Klumak, and that will be our media timeout that we will take with them. 9:57 remaining first half. Lamar 10, Central 9. We'll be back after this. This is Rustler Basketball on 88.1. Media timeout buzzer. Welcome you back to Rustler Gym. 10-9 Lamar leading. CWC women volleyball falling earlier this afternoon in 3. Actually, they beat Trinidad in 3. Mackenzie Templeton, outside hitter, 16 kills.
That's the high number on the season.
Sage Burnson and Ashley Steffen with 4 kills each in that game.
Well, Ashley came back. She was considering not playing this year.
Montgomery rejected and fouled by Jalen Searles as they
look pretty good from this vantage point.
Yeah, he had a pretty good roof on him, but Jalen will pick up the foul. First personal, 6th team foul. At the line is Khalil Haywood, as he will not get the first one, and Coach Schmidt on the Zebras a bit. Second one on the way is good. Khalil Haywood has been at the line a bunch today already.
One thing with this vantage point, I have to worry about our moving microphone due to the coaches of the guys' team.
4 out of 5. Maddox to Searles. He is going to be fouled. It will not go down, however. And Jalen Searles will go shoot a pair. That foul is on Kavon Wiggins, his first.
Oh, we brought Marco from the team last year, too.
Marco
sophomore.
Free throw is no good by Searles.
Pretty unusual to have a sophomore team that heavy as it was last year for the guys.
Had 19 points in the loss on the road. Jalen Gentry had 20 in that ball game. Searles back of the stripe, second is still no good. And the rebound by Haywood. Central not doing themselves any favors here as they trail by 2. Montgomery gets a pick from Haywood, finds Kavon Wiggins. He'll rise for 10. He's still not in the books. Good rebound by Searles. And that ball knocked away by Montgomery. Will stay Central basketball as Will Lawrence will check back into the ball game.
Kind of a musical chairs thing that he's doing there to try to keep somebody fresh all the time. It's rotation, I think, by minutes as much as it is by anything else.
But you know, yesterday he had 3 players play 36 or more minutes. So it was rotating out 2 positions with his 2 subs, essentially, and not rotating out all 5. Searles rising 15. That one's off the mark. Rebound, though, Dahir. Second attempt, still no good. Third attempt is good by Abdi Dahir. And that ties us for the first time since zeros. It's 11-11 with 9 minutes left to play in the first half. Whitaker, D'd up by Dahir, baseline. Might have shifted his feet a little bit. Brad Schmidt asking for a travel as well as Whitaker goes the distance. Throws it out to Osborne for 3. That misses. Gaza the rebound. Gentry up ahead. Maddox for 3 off glass, no good. Dahir the rebound, still no good. Then batted around and picked up by Whitaker. 8:20 remaining in the first half. We're tied at 11. Whitaker for three. Dish pans out. Gaza the rebound, another one. Maddox flips it up ahead to Searles. They'll bring it across the timeline. Jalen dishes down low to Gaza. He'll pound it on the floor pretty hard on the spin move and lost it. Searles for three instead. That won't fly. Central just cold from the line, and a double dribble going to be whistled on Tim Montgomery. As
I thought there was a hand in the middle of that.
That's what he's trying to tell the official. Like, he knocked it away from me, but he put it back on the ground. The official calls him for a double, and they'll give it back. Davis Richard back into the ball game. Kyle Koski, Kaden Koch back in. Also, Johnny Levias. Is that a wholesale sub? The referee and the coach.
It really was not touched.
So then Gentry flips it to Levias. Johnny pulls it back up to the top to Koski now. Davis Richard to Koski. Spreading them out for sure. 4 on the shot clock. Levias runs in at the end of the shot clock, can't get it to fall. Here comes Kavon Wiggins. Wiggins 1-on-4, knocked away from behind, taken away. Gentry 1-on-2, peels it back out. Koski left open for three, and he'll drain it. Timeout called. Coach Sellers, team a little bit ragged, maybe needing a quick break. He'll call a full timeout as Central has back the lead, second lead change of the contest. At 7:13 left, it's 14-11. If you're needing more Rustler sports, you can always log on to rustlerathletics.com. Scores, schedules, rosters, news stories, and more. Each sport also has their own specific Facebook pages and Twitter as well. Yes, and Twitter, Lindsay says. We'll be joined by head coach Lindsay Fearing of the women's team at the half of this ball game. Her team on the wrong end of a battle with Western Nebraska today at 113-28 was the final score in that one. RustlerAthletics.com. You can also find links to listen and watch online home games and road games on each sports page, as well as our Facebook page, Rustler Radio on Facebook. It's 3:15 in the Mountain West, and they've moved these games up just a bit. A lot due to the fact that snow was falling when we entered the gym earlier this morning, and also snow in the path of all three visiting teams. South Pass has since been cleared. However, there's no unnecessary travel right now between Shoshone and Casper, which if the team's heading that way, and then offensive foul is going to be called on Khalil Haywood as he and Jalen Gentry got tangled up at midcourt. He just kind of ran in and ran him over.
Also, if you're Lamar, you cannot afford to give away fouls like that when you're that short of a roster.
Yeah, just their fourth one, though, in the 13 minutes. Shot clock should be at 30 because it was a foul. The referee up and coming says it was only 20, so now the officials are going to confer. Now they just overruled 2 versus 1 apparently, and they're going to leave it at 30. Yeah, it was a foul. That should, and a change of possession should definitely reset the shot clock to 30. Baseline, Levias blocked. Koch rejected. A lot of contact, not called. The other way, Montgomery lays it up and misses it. And then Haywood takes out his own opponent trying to get the rebound. The other way, Levias, reverse underneath, misses it short, tries to power it back up. He falls down. It's hard to believe as there's a blocking foul on Koch as Khalil Haywood ran into him. Wowza. Koch will pick up his second. It is a very physical basketball game. And Coach Brad Schmidt just echoing that sentence. How are those not fouls, he says. So Haywood back to the line where he's been most of the day, and that one will take a lap or two and come up empty. And now Coach Schmidt has just got a warning from the far side official. 14-11 Central, 6.5 remaining in the ball game. Lefty again at the line, that one is good. Khalil Haywood, 9 points, 5 of it from the charity stripe.
But neither team has really got into a rhythm in this one.
Central not shooting very well to help aid in that. Right side, pump fake. Levias in the paint knocks it down. He's got 6. Johnny Levias. 4-point Rustler lead, their biggest of the ball game. Lamar's has been 4 as well. Give and go, Haywood off glass, and a blocking foul on Davis Richard. Haywood having a field day today. He has 11 of his team's 14 points. Davis Richard with his first personal foul. And a 30-second timeout called by Central. 5:57 remaining in the first half. Central with a 16-14 lead. Lamar at the line when we come back from this quick timeout. This is Rustler basketball on 88.1. Just under 6 minutes left to play in the first half of Rustler basketball. Their home opener hosting Lamar in the final game of the Rustler Basketball Classic. 16-14. Khalil Haywood back at the line. It's a 3-point opportunity for him. He has 11 points, now 12, and the lead is cut to 1, 16-15. He has 12 of their 15 points. So Kavon Wiggins was obviously a marked man coming into it, and he has not scored, and Gentry's going to get called for a travel before he knocks down the triple and turn it over. Lamar. Working on the offensive end. Haywood working on Koski. Where they're going to go with it? They're going to go with Koski. He kind of threw a stiff arm into him. But they're going to go on Koski, and that will be number 1 on Caleb, and it's going to put Tim Montgomery at the line. Abdi Dahir will check in for a Johnny Levias. Stephen Long, still a little injured, not able to go and play. Niehi Black, freshman from Lander, not dressed out in playing clothes today as well. We're tied at 16. Second one is good and a lead change. Montgomery has 5. They're the only 2 that have scored. Khalil Haywood has 12. Montgomery has 5 of their 17 points. Abdi high arcing 3 is an air ball, but they have not shot well, have the Rustlers. We'll get you those shooting numbers at half. Great block by Jalen Searles. Tremendous block on that end. Rustlers back the other way. Koski hooks it to the left side. Searles, Jalen pump fake, steps back 15. Off the mark, rebound by Tim Montgomery. Inside of 5 left to play in the first half. 17-16, Lamar a lead. Kavon Wiggins is on the board as he'll take it down the left side of the lane and lay it off glass and in. 36 yesterday, that's his first points of the game here today, and Abdi will travel and give the basketball back to Lamar.
Well, even on some of the non-travels, they're very close. If you notice, it's like a lot of that same sort of look as you're taking off.
Trey Sims, Sebastian Gaza, and Johnny Levias back into the Rustler lineup along with Davis Richard and Jalen Gentry. 19-16, Lamar the lead. They have the basketball. 4:20 left to play. Kavon Wiggins 3, no good. Levias the rebound. Left side, Sims open underneath. Reverse, good. Trey Sims, good body control to go to the other side and lay it off the window underneath and in. 19-18 the score, as the scoreboard did not put that on to reflect that. Now it does. Wiggins to Osborne. Ball kicked by Gaza, taken away by Davis Richard. Alley-oop, Gaza pump fake underneath. He'll lose the handle, gathers it back somehow. Davis Richard rises for 15, that's good. Davis Richard has 5 points now. And Central retains the lead now, 20-19 with 3:40 left to play in the half. Kavon Wiggins underneath. Khalil Haywood, good, as he'll be fouled by Richard from behind. And Khalil Haywood now with 14 points already in the first half. 14 of his team's 21. Jack Klumak will check back into the ball game. And Coach Sellers going to talk to his team, 4 of them at least, while Haywood is at the line for the three-point play. Free throw is good. Jake Maddox will check in. So that will be lead change number 5 now. Klumak assuming point duties now with Gentry out. Jack hands it off to Levias. Levias spins into the paint. Left one short. Gaza the rebound. He'll put it back up. He'll be fouled and will go to the line. Nice job by Sebastian Gaza from Stuttgart, Germany. Foul whistled, I think, on Alex Lawrence. His second it is. 2 free throws coming up from Sebastian Gaza. Again, he's 6'9", the tallest player on the Rustler roster. And he gets the first free throw.
The tallest player we've had since we brought basketball back.
I think 6'9" is probably it. I don't remember a 6'10" or anybody higher than that. Free throw is no good. Saving it, though, is Khalil Haywood. Back the other way, Kavon Wiggins, 15, no good. And then a trio of Rustlers try to save it. You don't save it inbounds there, but ending up with it is going to be Joseph. He can't connect. Is not sure why Whitaker gave that away instead of just shooting it. Sims for 3, that's good. Trey Sims for the tray.
Maybe that's why.
I'm just talking about Whitaker underneath this side when he got it underneath there. As he didn't shoot it, he gave it off, and they missed it.
In fact, it was an air ball, so it could have probably been a 3-second call, in fact.
Haywood for 3 is good. Haywood has 18. And lead change number 7. Again, as I said, Wiggins had 36 yesterday. Now it's the Khalil Haywood show. Driving too far underneath Maddox. And then a reach foul on Levias in the backcourt. 25-24 Lamar. Central has 10 fouls now. That's actually, they have 11. That's still double bonus for the Lamar Lopes. Chance to slow the game down with all the free throws, and this will be the 14th free throw of the first half for Lamar, and they will have another. This is Tim Montgomery. Second is good. Trey Sims, another 3 on the other end on a quick pass up ahead, and Sims has 8 now on back-to-back threes, and we are tied for a 3rd time. 7 lead changes, 3 ties. Whitaker, baseline 10, no good. Ball batted over the top of the rim. Maddox ends up with it. Baseball pass up ahead. Klumak take it right side, and then maybe a travel, maybe a foul. Nothing called either side. It's out of bounds, Rustler basketball. Kind of looked a little awkward as he was getting his 2 steps to go to the rack.
We might got a technical foul here, I think.
And I think the foul is going to be on Central, I am guessing. He's shooting at the wrong hoop. Kavon Wiggins is saying, hey, I think we should probably go down here, and he is correct.
I think it might have been on Levias.
It is listed on Johnny Levias. The technical will be his 3rd personal foul, so he'll be a little bit of foul trouble as it looks like Koski will come in for him, and Kavon Wiggins will hit the free throw to break the tie. Second one on the way, no good. Falls out. Well, like I said, there was nothing called on that. I mean, I think maybe he might have traveled prior to, but then pretty hard spike that rejected the ball out of bounds that might have been a foul that was not called. I think that's what Levias took exception to. Maddox inbounding, finds Koski, barely. Trey Sims back up top, and a foul going to be whistled on Bryce Whitaker. That is just the 6th team foul on the Lopes here today. 2nd personal on Whitaker. And again, we'll be having our head women's coach, Lindsey Fearing, joining us at the half.
I'm a freshman. You can tell.
Tim Montgomery having a moment with the official. 15 on the shot clock. Klumak down the right side. Runner good, maybe and one as he got knocked to the floor. 8th lead change to the contest. Ball poked out of bounds by Klumak. Klumak spelled not like it looks. I mean, kind of, C-H-L-U.
I'm not sure how Klumak would look, actually. It's an interesting name.
Talked with Jack. I said, how do you pronounce this? He told me. So hopefully we don't have any overrulings from anybody else. Nice job by Sims trying to knock that away, but gathering it back in, and then Koski herds.
I think had he not stepped out of bounds, there wouldn't have been a foul, but because he put his foot on the line, I think they felt they had to call something there.
Herded Kavon Wiggins out of bounds, and Kavon will go back to the line. 29-28, Rustlers by 1. 8 lead changes, 3 ties with 1:17 remaining in the first half. Free throw is no good. 13 of 18 from the free throw line, Lamar. That is the 13th foul on the Rustlers to just 6 personal fouls on the Lopes. And that was not a dialogue on unfair foul coverage. I was just stating a simple fact.
Just a dialogue
of where it is, yeah. Baseline, Maddox travels with it. Another Central turnover.
But how many of these turnovers have been travels in this game?
Montgomery to Haywood. Back to Lawrence. Osborne out there as well. Now back to Montgomery. Good help defense by Gaza. Lawrence gets free underneath, and actually it's Osborne who will go to the line on another Central foul. And to the line will be Will Osborne. As you can hear the Central huddle underneath the hoop. We'll turn that microphone down just a bit. And that will send Will Osborne to the line. The Rustler foul was on Trey Sims, his first. Free throw no good by Will Osborne. 13 of 20 now, Lamar. Chance for our 4th tie of the game, yes. 29 apiece, 43 seconds remaining in the ball game's first half, excuse me. The ball game's first half. Wide open Klumak. Can't knock down the 3. Gaza is going to be fouled by Will Osborne. So Sebastian will go to the line. Should be one in the bonus, and it is. And Sebastian Gaza 1 for 2 from the line. Central is only 1 for 4 on the first half from the free throw line. Central has 19 points off of their bench here today to illustrate that depth for the Rustlers, as Gaza makes that one 1 point off the bench from the 2 guys that were the bench for Lamar. Gaza back to the line. Free throw is on the way. That is good. Back to back. 31-29 shot clock and game clock. 2 seconds difference right now, with the shot clock just ahead of it by that 2-second margin. Montgomery D'd up by Jake Maddox. Trying to free Kavon Wiggins, and Jack Klumak's all over him. Kavon with just 3 points in the game after scoring 36 yesterday. Shot clock down to 6, almost knocked away by Sims. They'll have 4 seconds left in which to do something after the knockout by Klumak. Four across the three-point stripe. Kavon will get the inbound pass. 2 seconds, 1 second. He had no idea. That's not going to happen. He really didn't know how much time was on the shot clock.
I think he was looking at the other clock, I think is what he was doing.
Right, and so technically there should be 2.5 or so seconds on the clock. There's only 1.2. Nobody's going to argue that, because there was about a 2.5 second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And I think that's maybe now where they're going to go talk to the official desk, because it should be about 2.5 seconds, maybe 3. They might even put close to 3 seconds on the clock for Central. And then again, they may not do anything. They don't do anything. It's leave it at 1.2. Abdi takes it inbounds. 3 on the way. It's going to be short, and the first half of basketball is complete. 8 lead changes, 4 ties in this ball game, and Central with a 31-29 advantage at the break here on Rustler Radio. We'll step aside. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll have some stats. We'll also interview our head coach of the women's team, Lindsey Fearing. We'll do that in just a minute. Central again leading on the scoreboard. It's 31-29. We'll be back with a halftime show after this. You're listening to Rustler Radio, streaming live on rustlerathletics.com. We are at the break of the men's contest. 31-29 Central out in front of Lamar. We saw 8 lead changes, 4 ties in the basketball game. And Trey Sims off the bench, 8 points to lead the way for Central. Johnny Levias with 6 points. On the other side, Khalil
But in foul
Haywood.
trouble.
Yes, he has 3. On the other side, Khalil Haywood, unofficially 18. Tim Montgomery with 7. We'll get you first half scoring numbers, shooting numbers, and turnovers and all that stuff here in just a bit. Right now, though, we're going to talk to our head coach, Lindsey Fearing, of the women's team, and unfortunately on the wrong end of a 113-28 game with Western Nebraska. And, you know, I don't even know what to say for you to put that into words, but to hear 113-28 against your team and go from there.
This team is very selfish. You have 18-year-olds that are coming from teams that, you know, they probably ran their teams. They were the leading scorers. They did whatever they could on that team because they could. Now they're coming to college, and none of that matters anymore. And that's what we're trying to work to with this team, is getting them to not be selfish, give 100%. It's a blessing just to be able to play right now. And I think these kids are forgetting that, and they're taking it for granted way too much.
You had mentioned in the pregame that our goal in this game was to lessen turnovers, lessen, more communication, lessen offensive rebounds for that team, and unfortunately it kind of went the other way today.
Definitely the same was with turnovers. They're still the same there. Offensive rebounds, we were actually better than what we were Wednesday. And there's some good. I mean, there's good and all bad, but, there's a whole lot of bad.
Let's talk about that good then. What did you see from your vantage point?
We got some key stops, key energy in some certain situations. The first game Wednesday, I think we gave up 26 O-boards. Today we gave up 9.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that good. I'm going to take whatever I can. And, it's going to continue to be a long road for these kids that they're stepping into the college scene. They think that they know what they're doing, but they have no idea.
It seemed as if sometimes they'd beat the press and they were relieved that they beat the press, but then they wouldn't run the offense once they had beaten the press.
Right. I can't answer that for you. I mean, over and over you can hear me down there saying, don't take the first shot off, you break the press. That first shot, we don't need it. Let's just go. Let's run our offense. And that's communication. That's selfishness. That's not recognizing time. But we're going to continue to just try to improve.
Is this the best team you've seen?
Yes.
Playing-wise,
coaching-wise, yes, this is probably the best team I've ever seen. Their length, their athletic, their energy, their communication.
They're strong, they're fast on top of it.
Interchangeable parts, too.
Yes, and you look at that team, how many sophomores do they have on that team? I mean, more than half of their team was sophomores. So you're coming in with experience.
With he only had like 2 returners or something from last year to have that transfer sophomore ability and everything like that.
It's interesting you could bring him back next year if you wanted to the way things are as well.
He could. Isn't that crazy?
In the COVID situation. So next week on the road, 2 more tough opponents out of that Region 18. What's that? Yeah, no. College of Southern Idaho and Salt Lake, I believe. Is that right?
Snow.
Oh, Snow was the other one.
Yep.
Yes. Snow and Salt Lake, no College of Southern Idaho. But, yeah.
That is one incredibly tough region.
You're going to have to be back on it again next week.
Absolutely. Going to have another heart-to-heart with these kids, get them to realize they really have no idea what they don't know. And, just put effort and improve in this next coming week. Hopefully it can make a change. We'll see it Friday, Saturday.
All right. Do appreciate you coming up. Sorry that I didn't know if you came up post game. We had to get things in order to start a little early, so I do appreciate you coming up here at the half, and we'll talk with you next week as we get ready to hit the road to Rock Springs.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. It's Lindsey Fearing, our women's head coach, as they come up short today. 113-28 was the final score. They're unfortunately 0-3 on the season. Back at it again next week at Western Wyoming College. Invite against Snow and Salt Lake. At the intermission here, it is 31-29. Central is on top by 2. We'll take a break before Joel disconnects everything, and I'll help him in the timeout and get him fixed up. We'll take a break and come back with stats after this on 88.1. (31-29) Central leading at the break as we take a look at first half statistics in this contest. And leading the way, Khalil Haywood has 15 points. And I thought maybe I might got him and Montgomery tangled up, as they showed Tim Montgomery with 8 points in the ball game as well.
But they could have got him tangled up too, though. So.
There is that angle as well. 5 points for Kavon Wiggins, which got him for 3. And then who else do we have pointages for? Will Osborne with 1. So adjust some things a little bit there. There we go, 31-29. So 15 points for Khalil Haywood, 8 points for Tim Montgomery. Kavon Wiggins has 5. Haywood rather, played all but 24 seconds of that first half.
And was somewhat quiet.
Yeah, but Haywood had 15. It was.
I thought you said played
Wiggins played 17 of the 20, so he played a majority. And then you look at Whitaker and Montgomery, both played 18, so it was kind of Lawrence and Joseph and Osborne filling in for that 5th player, if you will, time-wise. Central led by the 8 points by Trey Sims, 6 points for Johnny Levias, 4 points for Abdi Dahir, 5 points for Davis Richard, 3 points for Caleb Koski and Sebastian Gaza.
And that's weird too, because Sims, 2 consecutive trips down the court to threes, and that was 6 of his 8 points right there.
Largest lead in the basketball game. Well, Lamar didn't score in the final. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Didn't hit a field goal in the final, 2:43. Lamar's biggest lead was by 6. Central's biggest lead was by 4. We've seen the game tied 4 times. Lead changes 8 times in this ball game. Turnovers in the ball game, dead even at 10 apiece in that, and it actually kind of felt like more, to be completely honest with you.
That's what the travel calls, it seemed like.
It felt like a lot more on that. Rebounding in this first half, dead even there, 24 apiece, so dead even almost everywhere and even on the scoreboard. CWC would shoot 7 of 27, 26%. 1 of 10 from the arc is all. Central only, actually, excuse me, this is Lamar. Lamar 7 of 27, 26%, 1 of 10 from the arc. Central ended up 4 of 14 from three-point land, 12 of 37 for the game. They hit 3 of 6 free throws. Lamar hit 14 of 21 free throws in the ball game. And again, on the big stat that matters, it's Central in favor by 2, 31-29 is our score. And the second half of basketball is coming your way here in just a moment. This is 88.1 Rustler Radio, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Congratulations to the Riverton Wolverine boys basketball team as they took down Natrona today, 63-55, halfway through the North Quadrant. Riverton's 3-0. They lead that division and I think host the regionals, in fact. And so congrats to Bo Sheets and the Wolverine boys as they win 63-55 this afternoon.
Real curious how those regionals will play out, especially like at 2A. If the Chiefs start playing, how are you going to seed a team that plays this many games against somebody who plays this many? And I guess, is it still going to be in Riverton, the 2A tournament? And if there's no fans, is it that important if it's in a big gym like that?
I think they will. They'll do it like they did volleyball, where they'll do quadrants on Thursday and then the seeding rounds on Saturday at the number one team of the conference, either north or south. As we're back to basketball, Levias is 3, no good. Klumak the rebound, though. He'll step out, find Abdi to here. Central has the arrow to begin the second half.
But Abdi handling the ball much more this year than last, it seems like.
Gentry's open in the corner, fires the 3 on the way. That one's no good, but Abdi over the back, and they'll call him over the back. And that will be a foul on Abdi to hear his first.
Have you heard the coach talk? He wanted David Francois back this year, but David's dad's health had some issues and was not able to come back, largely because he was helping take care of family, or there were family issues with his dad's health. Actually had a leg amputated, I believe.
I think he had missed a couple of games last year in the middle of that, actually, as Joseph, and they're going to give a foul down low.
Yeah, Gentry was just holding on with the matchup height-wise.
And Jalen will pick up his first. So picking up right where they left off, Central 2 fouls in the first 45 seconds of the second half. They had 14 fouls to 7 fouls in the first half. Joseph way out there, hands the ball to Whitaker. Montgomery working on Dahir, runs past him, dish over, and a pump fake. Actually looking at jam, and he couldn't get it to follow Khalil Haywood.
And some contact may have helped it not fall, too.
Yeah, and that's going to be Abdi Dahir. That'll be quickly his second in a row. Well, not in a row because we had one on Jalen in there, but 3 fouls on Central in the first 55 seconds now of the second half.
I don't think we've seen any of Brad's zone so far today either, I don't believe, have we?
Have not, as Haywood 15 points in the first half, going to the line, drills the first. Cuts the lead in half, 31-30. Cook, Gentry, DeHeer, Klumak, and Levias, the 5 on the floor for the Rustlers. Whitaker, Joseph, Montgomery, Haywood, and Wiggins, and that does not go in, and Abdi with a rebound.
You know, one thing about doing a ball game up here, you get a pretty good appreciation of the floor. Nice looking floor here at CWC.
Yep. Good looking picture on our new media camera work. Our CW Lady Rustlers running the cameras today as our media class will begin. As Abdi in the paint, missed it. Out of there comes with it Khalil Haywood.
I think Levias got pushed out of position there.
And he's late joining the party. On the other side is Jack Klumak is going to be called for a ticky-tack foul just on the inside. And that is 4 fouls on Central to none for Lamar to begin the second half.
And Levias gets some words asking about the foul maybe that should have been called, he felt, at the other end.
Each team will huddle briefly, and now they'll resume play. Montgomery near the midcourt C-Dub emblem. Bounces it to Haywood, to Whitaker. Central in their man-to-man, dressed in their home whites. Alley-oop, flush it, Khalil Haywood. Nicely drawn up, nicely executed. Lead change number 9 on the thunderous jam. Klumak, back up Gentry at the volleyball 10-foot line. Abdi runs down, and a blocking foul on the way there, as falling down was Tim Montgomery. Will be his first, team first.
You know, there's a Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas, by the way.
Is that the Lamar Cardinals?
They are the Cardinals. Very good. What was your association there?
I accidentally Googled them looking for Lamar Junior College.
I thought you were quite astute there for a moment.
Going to get a foul away from the basketball on Kaden Koch. Will be team foul number 5 already on the Rustlers. This is getting crazy now.
Not a good kind of crazy either.
(32-31). Lamar the lead in the basketball. Haywood scoots it back to Joseph. 15-footer. Nobody home to rebound but Levias. Shot is no good. Johnny the rebound. And a foul on the way. Will they count the bucket? No, they wave it off.
A foul about the free throw line. He's kind of ridden.
They give the foul to number 2. There is no 2 on the court.
Well, that'll help them with their depth situation.
Yeah, when you give a foul to somebody who's not here, that always helps. And he's still saying number 2. And now he says 22, so he'll go to Kavon Wiggins. And that'll be his second personal foul. And now another offensive foul on the Rustlers. And
well, they're just whacking right and left.
It's going to be on Kaden Koch, and that'll be his 4th personal foul.
And you said he fouled out of their last game, correct?
Well, he was in foul trouble and didn't play much because of the foul trouble.
I noticed when he's out there, his picks move a little bit. So that's perhaps one of the reasons why. But that has not been the call that's gotten him in trouble tonight.
6 team fouls on the Rustlers in the first 2.5 minutes of the half. Haywood.
Oh, like a travel there, didn't it?
Knocked away by DeHeer, up ahead to Abdi, and he will be fouled. Saving the bucket is Khalil Haywood.
You know, you got to be careful, though, if you're a team that's so undermanned to save the bucket because of the foul situation, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're playing with 4 either.
And they did foul out 2 yesterday, I believe, Wyatt, didn't they? They ended up playing with just 5 players eligible, and
shades of our game at Matizzi.
Dangerously
close. With the 4th and 5th player.
Dangerously close to going sub-5 people. Free throw good by Abdi. He's got 5 points. We're tied for a 5th time.
And the 500 feet of telephone line.
Lead change number 10 as we broadcast some wild places in our 60-some years of broadcasting collectively. Joseph Bounces a couple of times, runs into Gaza, and then he'll travel with it. Right before Montgomery drilled the three, but the turnover gives the ball.
It's amazing the shooting percentage that occurs after a foul is called.
Yeah.
In all games,
About
it seems like.
92%, isn't it? Davis Richard into the game for Central as Koch came out with that fourth foul, and then another foul as Joseph can't come off the pick very well, and Joseph will get his first personal. That'll be the fourth team foul.
We're only just barely over 3 minutes into the second half, and it's been a whack fest. Will Osborne to check into the ball game.
Shot good on the
tough
baseline.
Shot.
Abdi to here now with 8 points. Rustlers lead by 3. Khalil Haywood, 15-footer at the top of the paint, knocks that one down. Back down to a 1-point game, 35-34. 3 on the way, short. Abdi the rebound, rejected, taken away. And then a shot, no good, and we get an offensive foul. We do get a player control foul. It's going to be whistled on Bryce Whitaker. Turnover on Lamar. Substitutions as Jalen Searles back in for a Johnny Levias.
And on that play, you could tell he was way out of the restricted area there, so there was no question.
Alex Lawrence back into the contest for Lamar. It's a 1-point game, still a lot of basketball left to be played with 16 and change.
A lot of fouls to be committed yet.
Yeah, pretty much. Searles, baseline, runner good. He almost got pushed out of bounds by Haywood, but
he was being boarded, I think, as they say in hockey.
Jalen Searles, his first field goal of the game. He's got 2 points. Rustler lead is 3. Lawrence falling down, flips it out. 3-pointer no good to hear the board. Abdi up ahead, back to Abdi. He'll travel with it as you hear somebody else underneath saying that exact same thing. 2 shots miss, back the other way. Coming up, Wiggins laid off glass and in. Good dish, cuts the lead to 1. Out to Dahir for 3. Nothing but net for Abdi, he's got 11. Central's trying to get a little rhythm here and run the visitors out, but that's wide open and he missed it.
I think he
Lawrence
was thinking about a dunk is what it looked like there.
And then a foul on Khalil Haywood as he knocks Gentry to the ground.
And 6 wrestlers help him up, it appears.
They're going to need a towel to wipe up some perspiration from Jalen Gentry. Well, that would have been a big bucket right there for Will Osborne. As I was just mentioning how Central's trying to run them out of the gym a little bit here and get a run, and that would have squelched it a bit, but he missed it point blank. As you said, maybe going to put down the jam and left it short and left it hanging on the rim.
And this indecision, I think, bit him.
Koski into the game. Sims into the game for Central. Klumak into the game. Davis Richard in the backcourt directing traffic. Gives it to Koski. Caleb right side, Klumak working perimeter.
Yeah, Rustlers have played all 11 players they've dressed in this game.
Yeah, coach said he would go deep. And he has as Klumak hands it back to Searles. Shovel it back down low to Sims with a right hand. How did he reverse that to go in? 10 points, Trey Sims. Driving Wiggins was going to put the jam down, and then Searles got in his grill. And that'll be a foul on Jalen Searles, his second personal. And it will send Kavon Wiggins to the line. So yesterday, Wiggins had 36. Today, it's Khalil Haywood. He's got 20. Montgomery has 8. Wiggins has 7.
How good are the players they're missing, did the coach say? He didn't.
We didn't get a scouting report since they weren't coming, I guess, as Wiggins misses that one. Second one is good by Wiggins. 4 o'clock at KCWC FM Riverton. RustlerAthletics.com. I'm John Gabrielson, instructor of radio broadcasting here at CWC, alongside Joel Kindle. Koski out to Searles. Jalen zigs and zags and goes to the rack, puts it up, and one. Jalen Searles taking it over that time. He'll bank one in, and the foul is going to be whistled on Alex Lawrence. And that will be the 7th team foul. So we're in bonus on both sides. Fouls caught up quickly at 7 apiece now.
Oh boy, this could be a long second half.
It could be. So far, we've only seen 33 free throw shots. Only, 25 in the first half by Lamar, as Searles can't get the and one. And the rebound by Kavon Wiggins. 7-point Rustler lead, their biggest, and a foul on Sims underneath will send Montgomery to the line. Trey Sims, foul number 2. Foul trouble right now. Levias has 3, Klumak has 3, Koch has 4. On the other side, Lawrence has 3, Whitaker has 3. That was not a 1 on the bonus. That was a 2-shot variety as Montgomery misses the first. Everybody playing. Second, same as the first. Searles with a rebound. 7-point CWC lead. Klumak directing traffic. Sims was wide open in the corner, but that would have been a heck of a throw from corner to corner, half court. Koski runs in, misses the lay-in. Joseph got stepped on. He's down underneath the rim. I think they should probably stop this because
I think he's okay, I think.
He's going to hobble in, and now they'll finally stop play, as I think he got stepped on by a player that came flying through, and Donato Joseph will step out.
So his walk has improved immensely from when he got up.
Alex Lawrence will check in his place. 21 on the shot clock. Montgomery triggers it in. Whitaker now at the midcourt circle, guarded by Davis Richard. I do thank fellow broadcaster Jared Anderson for giving us geography as Wiggins goes down and lays it in. Wiggins has 10 of Los Lunas, New Mexico, just south of Albuquerque.
I think he got one of those free State Farm atlases, I think.
Searles going to be fouled by Whitaker. And no, they're not going to go Whitaker. They're going Lawrence, which will be his 4th. It was going to be 4 on somebody, and it's going to be 4 on Alex Lawrence. So possibly foul attrition catching up to the Lopes here a bit as Searles drains the free throw and puts Central back up by 6. We're going to see Will Osborne return for Lawrence.
You know, it's interesting, too, in this situation. You got to sub players irregardless of position. You're going to put, like, you brought a guard out, put a forward in because you have no choice.
Searles makes both. 7-point lead for the Rustlers, matching their biggest with 13 minutes left to play. Long 3, Whitaker. Nothing but, well, I say nothing but net. It rattles at home.
That's one of those metal nets from, how about Junker Park or something?
How about we just say he knocks it down as they lose the handle. Does Klumak out of bounds to Lamar. Whitaker rings that bell, you could say, on his trifecta. It's back to a 4-point game, 13 minutes left. Whitaker fouled at the top. Chase Sims might have got the bad end of the deal on that as he's coming out rubbing his eyeball after that. That'll be the 9th team foul on Central, so we'll shoot 2 after the next whistle. Koch will check in with 4 fouls as Koski will come out. Klumak comes out. Dahir back in with Koch along with Searles, Gentry, and Sims hiding out in the far corner by the Rustler bench. Free throw 1 is good by Whitaker. He's got 4. Cuts the lead to a one-possession game now at 3. Second, good. 46-44 Gentry. Man-to-man press by Montgomery will bring it across the timeline, and they'll set up their offense against the Lamar man-to-man. Cook underneath Sims, can't get it to go. They ran that play out of a timeout before, and Sims will go back to the line. Back to the line, well, his first trips at the free throw line. Trey Sims has 10 points. Trey Sims out of Ogden, Utah, the 6'5" freshman. Gentry and Abdi Dahir talking about defensive assignments. You can hear them under the hoop as Sims' free throw is not good. Trey will have another. Abdi has 11, Trey has 10 to lead the Rustlers. 6 other Rustlers have scored in this as Trey gets the second. He is tied now with Abdi Dahir for game high honors on the team with 11. Khalil Haywood has 20 to lead the way on the other side. Much tougher shot by Osborne than the one he missed a while ago as he'll lay one in on the reverse layup.
I think he was worried about a block is what I think he was doing there.
Tim Montgomery with a good pass, and then Koch throws it away. Taking it, Montgomery is going to be fouled by Dahir, and he will go to the line. Just missed 2 a moment ago. Lamar is 18 of 29 from the free throw line.
About 60% or so, I'm guessing.
62. Yesterday, they were 14 of 21 from the line. Actually, excuse me, that was Western. They were 13 of 19 from the stripe yesterday, and Montgomery ties the game. Tie number 6, and we're tied at 47 apiece. Still 12 minutes left to play in the ball game. Second good, and that is the 11th lead change of the ball game. 48-47, Lamar out in front. Central had a 7-point lead a bit ago, and that has evaporated and turned into a 1-point deficit, in fact. Searles. Gentry getting a pick from Sims. Good help defense by Lamar. Abdi in traffic is going to be fouled and will go shoot free throws. Going to be on Kavon Wiggins, will be his 3rd. Wiggins with 7 threes yesterday. Scored 36 points. Was a perfect 7 for 7 from the line as Abdi misses the first free throw. Abdi 2 for 3 on the day. Central shooting 8 of 14, 57% from the stripe. Davis Richard back into the ball game. Second one, Abdi, is no good as well. 53% from the stripe at home, the Rustlers today. Not a bright mark for Coach Schmidt. Wiggins handing it up top to Osborne, back to Montgomery. Back steps to 17, left it off the heel of the iron, and Dahir will pull down the Rustler rebound. Gentry penetrates, drive and dish to Davis Richard for 3 is off the mark, and the ball pops into the hands of Khalil Haywood. Behind the back dribble around Searles, loses the handle, out of bounds, Central basketball. Johnny Levias back into the Rustler lineup for Jalen Searles.
Yeah, started the ballgame, has been sitting a while here in the second half. I think he's in some foul trouble with 3, I believe, right?
He has 3, yes.
It's an interesting game, too, with no crowd. You don't have this crowd to play off of it all to, like, you know, give you some artificial energy maybe.
Abdi with a miss, but a rebound by Levias, and he is fouled. Going to go on Khalil Haywood, I believe, and that is 4 on Khalil. So foul trouble now kind of catching up with the visitors. Alex Lawrence and Khalil Haywood each with 4, 3 for Wiggins and Whitaker. Montgomery has only 1. Not a person in the gym speaking when he shot that.
Not even a mouse.
Ties us up for a 7th time in the ball game. And Johnny Levias looking for point number 8 and gets it. And we've seen the lead change hands a dozen times in this ball game with 11 minutes left.
Interesting for the Lopes, too. If they were to fall behind and have to ratchet up their defense in foul trouble, that would be a real problem.
Davis Richard, the steal. Levias gets the pass back and puts it in, and he's got 10. Rustler lead back up to 3 now. Still a 1-possession ball game. Still with a ton of time left to play as well. Driving Wiggins, kick it out, up top Whitaker, pump fake, tries the 3 the second time, left it short. Kavon Wiggins, the rebound, put it up and in.
Boy, snuck in amongst 3 Rustlers there.
They'll call a timeout quickly as they still have 5 timeouts left. Well, he lost his shoe. That would be why we call a timeout. I heard somebody yelling timeout, 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 and finally we see why now as Kavon Wiggins had lost his shoe. 51-50 with 10:16 left. 12 lead changes, 7 ties in a very close home opener for the Rustlers. Koch, Levias, Davis Richard, Abdi Dahir firing a 3. No good. Koch with one hand
I think it was leaning on a player, however.
Yeah, he got his hand pulled down by Will Osborne.
So the opposite is true.
Yeah, Koch was kind of, body language was selling it that he didn't believe it was on him, and it wasn't, in fact, and that's going to be on Will Osborne, his 3rd personal. Double bonus, 2 free throws on every foul for the final 10:04 of the ball game. Kaden Koch to the line. Kaden out of Las Vegas, Nevada, free throw good. First point on the home floor for Kaden.
It does not appear to design too many plays for him. He's typically out there making a high pick.
Misses the second. I think it was designed to stay in the ball game as that ball ends up in the hands as he was going to be subbed out. The other way, Kavon Wiggins for 3, no good. Rebound though with one hand put back up. That doesn't go in by Lawrence, and then finally Levias says we're done here, and we'll go the other way.
Nice step in by Osborne there to knock the ball away on the long pass.
Shot on the low block is good by Lawrence and 1. Tie the game, and we'll take a timeout at 52 apiece. Alex Lawrence with the bucket and the media timeout. At 9:35 remaining in the contest, we're knotted up at 52 apiece. We'll be back for the conclusion of this one after this on 88.1, streaming live on RustlerAthletics.com. Very close game at Rustler Gym. 9:35 remaining. 52-52 is our score. 12 lead changes, 8 ties. To amplify that point of the closeness of said game. Chance for the 13th lead change, though, on this free throw attempt by Alex Lawrence on the and one.
So I think after 2 games or a game and a half so far, the Rustlers are 1 point down.
And now
they're even.
Dead even.
No, they're 2 down.
They're 2 down. They lost on Wednesday, 86-85. Searles passed his man, take it to the rack, missed it. Abdi trying to keep it alive. Ball is finally taken out of there by Montgomery. Lamar the other way. Montgomery stops at the 15-foot line. Whitaker trailing the play, doesn't fire the 3.
Interesting lineup for Lamar, too, and 2 players don't look like they're necessarily, designated scorers out there for them.
Khalil Haywood, who is a scorer at 20 points, says that's a foul on Trey Sims. He is sitting with 4 personal fouls. Sims fouling Kavon Wiggins on the way to the rack will be number 4 on Trey. And that'll send Wiggins to the line. So foul trouble for the Rustlers right now. Sims has 4, Koch has 4. 3 fouls for Levias and Klumak. Everybody else with less than 2 or 1. Wiggins, 3 personal fouls. Free throw is good. 2-point Lamar lead as Koch will check in with that 4th personal foul. Kavon Wiggins, 13 points today, following up his 36-point effort yesterday.
Been kind of a quiet 13, though. And maybe that's because it seems that way after yesterday, too.
Yeah, 5 in the first half, 8 here in the second, now 9, and Lamar has a 3-point advantage. So Central had a 7-point lead. That went away. They had a 6-point lead, now trail by 3 with just under 9 minutes left in the ballgame. Abdi travels with it. And the basketball back to Lamar.
In fact, this is a game, I think, if you didn't see the scoreboard, you think, wow, this is probably a tie game from what we've seen so far. And it's pretty darn close to that.
Lamar working on Central's man-to-man. Driving, firing, missing. Koch rebounds the ball, taps it to himself. Gentry. There's a stat here for you as there's a 3 by Davis Richard in the corner to tie the ball game. His 2nd trifecta of the night.
You had a stat for me earlier you want to give me, I thought, that you never gave me.
Well, this stat is Jalen Gentry had 20 Wednesday at Western Nebraska, and he has yet to score in this ball game. Another 3 on the way is an air ball by Whitaker. Saved. Kavon Wiggins ends up with it. He's tied up with by Koch. It will stay Lamar basketball. Wiggins comes out checking his lips for blood out of that exchange. I don't remember what the stat I was going to give you earlier, by the way, so apologize for that. How much earlier?
I'm still waiting.
Last March or what? Inbound. Nice muscle play by Alex Lawrence to connect.
He's had a couple of buckets here that have been huge for them off the bench with some of their firepower out.
He has all 5 of his points here in the second half as Searles is going to be fouled by Whitaker. That'll be number 4 on Bryce. And that will be more free throws for Central as Jalen Searles will head to the line. 6 points for Searles. 6'7" freshman out of Seattle, Washington. Still 7:58 left in the ball game. Lead cut in half. Searles with 7 points. It's 3 out of 6 from the free throw line. 4 out of 7. Tie number 10.
There's not been a double-digit lead in this game.
Backdoor block by Davis. Richard. Searles ahead of the pack. He'll try to slam it down. He didn't have full control over it. Back the other way. Wiggins over Koch will drop it in. Boy, Searles has a long stride, and he got close enough. I think he'd been better off finger rolling that, obviously, than what we saw. Jalen Gentry is going to be fouled in his first chance for points on the 5th personal foul by Alex Lawrence.
That's a weird turnaround, too, or not a good turnaround if you're CWC. You're going for the dunk at one end, and you're getting fast breaked at the other end instead.
5 personal fouls for Alex Lawrence. He checks out with 5 points and a couple of pretty big ones, as you pointed out just a few moments ago.
Yeah, did not start, but fouls out of the ball game.
Now Khalil Haywood will check in. He's got 4 personal fouls.
I know they have another one as well.
Yep, Bryce Whitaker has 4, Osborne and Wiggins with 3 each. And Joseph, we haven't seen him since he went out injured as Gentry gets his first point of the basketball game. Again, he scored 20 to lead the Rustlers Wednesday night. The point guard is yet to score here tonight, till now.
Well, you wonder if somebody fouls out, if Joseph can come into the ballgame, because you're right, he has been sitting a long, long time after that injury.
That's the last thing you want to do is be sitting a long time after an injury that you walked out there on. And they'll go throw it through the hands of Montgomery out of bounds. Turnover back to the Rustlers.
Or else you want to be sitting a real long time and keep sitting a real long time.
Exactly. He's going to come in now, though, as we mentioned it, as Joseph will check back into the game on the next dead ball. Abdi right back to Davis Richard for three. Knocked down another one. Davis Richard has 11 on his third triple of the night. And a timeout, Rustlers, as we have seen our 14th lead change, and we still have 7:07 left to play in this basketball game.
Ever notice there's a Brad tendency to call a timeout after a make on his team, which is I find interesting.
We've asked him about that in the postgame show, in fact.
Didn't much care for our question.
Quick break on the way back. 62-59 Rustlers with a lead. 7:07 remaining in the ball game. (62-59) Central with a three-point lead after the third three-pointer by Davis Richard. Yeah, I'm not sure if he and Brett are aware that their seats are elevated down there on the timer bench, but how's the view from, they're trying to get to our level because we're at the top of the gym.
Two more cranks and he's there.
Montgomery with a basketball. Dahir on him, gets a pick. Montgomery stops, back up top. Whitaker for three, short, front iron. Dahir the board. Central the other way. They'll set up their offense now with 6:40 left in the contest. Koch and Richard setting picks for Gentry. He'll take it to the rack and miss it. And then he gets knocked to the ground by Joseph. That'll be number 2 on Donato Joseph. And Jalen Gentry back to the free throw line. I'm not sure what Kaden Koch just said to him, but Jalen got a good kick out of it. Kaden will go retreat to play defense on the other side. Gentry 2 for 2. Free throw on the way, good.
Is he shooting a bit to the right side at the free throw level?
I think he's just maybe a step. Joel's getting a call about his extended warranty.
I better check on that.
Second one is good by Gentry, as he has 4 points.
That's good. That's a good shot.
Shot in good on the other end.
Former CWC wrestler, my son, wanted to get an update on the score. No.
Shot for three, not good.
But that was on line. I thought it was going to go, too.
Ricochets out of bounds. (64-61) our score. Six minutes left to play. Whitaker firing straightaway three and knocks it down and ties the game again.
It seems like every time we have a run, it looks like we're going to maybe put some space on them. They don't.
Yeah, and it's been close. Dahir, baseline, blocking foul. And the foul is on Will Osborne. That'll be number 4 on Will Osborne. I have Central for 10 fouls in this second half, 24 for the game, 23 for the game Lamar, but 16 of those 23 coming in this half.
Which is odd because CWC started off with, like, was it 5 fouls immediately in this second half?
In the first 2.5 minutes of the second half, as Abdi's free throw is good. 12 for Dahir. Haywood checking back in for Bryce Whitaker. One is fouled out already in Alex Lawrence. 3 others have 4 personal fouls for Lamar and only have 2 subs on their bench.
And only 1 is usable at this point.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, because the one is already fouled out. Dahir cannot hit the second free throw, however.
My prediction is they won't finish with 5 players.
Montgomery, left side, 3. Osborne left it well short. Rebound by Dahir. Gentry brings it across the timeline. Abdi, 15-foot line, back right side, Searles. Jalen shut off on the baseline by Osborne. Looking for a 5 count. Jalen for 3 is good. Jalen Gentry, 7 points. After I said he hadn't scored, he scored 7 and is back to a 4-point Rustler lead. Still 5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Wiggins lost the handle on the end line, out of bounds to the Rustlers. Levias checking back in for Koch. Good job by Kaden. He's played with 4 fouls for quite a while tonight. Trey Sims has 4 fouls, and he is on that Rustler bench. Gentry. Yeah, I don't think any lead has been bigger than 7 in this ball game, has it?
Doesn't appear to be.
Wide open Richard for his 4th trifecta, knocks it down.
Got a 7-point lead right now.
14 points for Davis Richard. He is the leading scorer for the Rustlers. He's done it on 4 3-pointers. 71-64 Central. Wiggins for 3, good. The answer by Kavon Wiggins. He has 19 now.
And Richard was covering him, in fact.
Not sure what Coach Sellers is animated about on the bench for Lamar on the inbound or something. I not knowing. Davis steps back for 3, left it on the front of the iron, and a foul's going to be called on Joseph. And that'll be number 3 on him, and that will send Levias back to the free throw line for the Rustlers. With 4:07 left. So to the line, Ajani Levias, 10 points on the day for Ajani. Levias out of Vallejo, California. Free throw good.
That is not your typical spelling of Johnny either.
And it's Ajani.
Okay.
You are correct, but still, yes.
The part is phonetically correct.
Second one, good. 6-point Rustler advantage, 73-67. 4:04. Lamar has answered the bell each time. Central has built a 2 or more possession lead, which has been a few times, and they've answered each time. As Wiggins to Joseph, lay it off glass and in. Wiggins attracted a lot of attention that time, and he gave it off to Donato Joseph, who scored his 3rd point of the game.
And here's your problem I was talking about before. How do you ratchet up your defense now with everybody being in foul trouble?
They're going to give the ball back to Lamar after that was knocked out of bounds. They say it goes off of Searles, off of Will Lawrence, or excuse me, Will Osborne. So the turnover with 3.5 left gives it right back to Lamar, down by 4.
We get the sense Wiggins is turning it up a bit right now as well.
Nice job by Searles. He'll get the tie-up out of Joseph, and the arrow goes Rustlers. Great defense by Jalen Searles. Bryce Whitaker will check in. He's going to venture in for Will Osborne.
CWC certainly can use some clock if they'd like right now with 3 minutes plus to go.
Passing perimeter. Bounce it left side. Levias over the top. No good. Davis Richards steps in, shovels the ball. Flip it back out to Gentry. Long three on the way. Misses the mark. Opti right there. Misses the putback. And it's finally taken away by Whitaker.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a tough shot on a fade three that he took there.
Wiggins runs around his man, and he'll be fouled as he goes around Gentry. That'll be number 2 on Jalen Gentry. And it's going to send Kavon Wiggins back to the line. 2:46 remains in the ballgame, 73-69. Appreciate you tuning in on rustlerathletics.com. Again, no fans allowed here in the ballgame today, so stuck with Joel and I on the call as that free throw by Kavon is good. 20 points for Wiggins now as he and Haywood tied at 20 for game-high honors. Koch will check back into the ball game for Johnny Levias. One possession game yet at 73-70, now 73-71, and a timeout called. With 2:46 remaining in the contest, Lamar trailing by a bucket. Central ball when we come back, 73-71, Central in the lead here on 88.1. Central basketball back at it this upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday. They'll both head to Western Wyoming College in Rock Springs. They'll take on Snow and Salt Lake. The men and women playing Friday and Saturday. Our volleyball team scheduled to host the Rocky Mountain JV on Tuesday. And like I said, from campfire talk between games, that is a 50-50 option right now, unfortunately.
Isn't that weird in Billings? You've got those two colleges, and they're across the street from each other. I'm going to transfer. Across the street, you're there.
Yeah, where are you going? I'm going across the street to transfer that, absolutely. CWC volleyball team will be on the road next weekend. They'll go to Salt Lake for 4 matches against the Region 18 opponents. You can check out more at rustlerathletics.com. Tune into that Rustler Report Thursdays at 9 a.m. if you want online. If you can't make it, you can catch it on demand on Rustler Athletics if you are a Rustler basketball fan. Central with a 2-point lead and the basketball. Davis Richard with it. Whitaker in his face. Abdi here, and they'll lob it down low, and the foul on Kavon Wiggins will be his 4th. No. Who did he go with that?
Well, the foul's on CWC.
It is on CWC.
Gentry?
I think Searles. It's going to be on Jalen Searles, will be his 3rd. Boy, I did not see that.
It took a while to get to that point.
I'm going to watch he was kind of backing down Wiggins on that low block, and that's what they called him for on watching the stream replay. 2:20 and change left to play in the contest of a 2-point game. 14 lead changes, 12 ties. Turnaround, Haywood missed it. Koch the rebound.
You expected it to fall because of the way this game is yo-yoed.
Yeah. Back. 2 minutes left to play in the contest. Gentry, Koch out there setting a high pick with his 4 fouls. Both teams in the double bonus. Both teams have several timeouts left. 3 for Central, 4 for Lamar. Richard almost throws it away, but Searles gets it way back, gets it back, but then he stiff arms Haywood and gets called for the foul.
Yeah, fended with a hand there, and they caught him.
4 fouls on Jalen Searles, another turnover Central, and Lamar gets it back with 1:52 left, trailing by a bucket. They've had a couple of opportunities at this juncture at the score to tie or get back in and haven't gotten it accomplished. Whitaker, right side, Kavon Wiggins, Davis Richard on him defensively. Wiggins lost
Boy,
the
they
handle.
don't set a very good pick for him, do they?
He'll fire the three, bank it, and drop it. Wow.
And they lead. Wow.
24 for Wiggins, 15 lead changes now with 1:20 left. Gentry calling the play. Wants a pick, he's going to take it the distance. No call, they'll just say it's out of bounds.
They call the foul.
Nope, they called it out of bounds. And they'll give the ball back to Lamar.
That was okay, that was the signal then.
No whistle on a foul at all as Gentry went to the floor with Montgomery. No charge, no block, no nada.
And no wipe up. And now we're going to get a wipe up. Well, how things have changed. You're Lamar and you've got the 1-point lead with 1:12 to go and the basketball.
Wiping up some perspiration off the floor. .112 remaining. Lamar by 1. Koch, Gentry, Searles, DeHeer, and Richard, the 5 on the floor, dressed in white for the Rustlers. Whitaker, Haywood, Montgomery, Wiggins, and Joseph, the 5 on the court, with a full timeout coming your way, courtesy of Justin Sellers and the Lamar Lopes. 104 remaining in a 1-point ball game. We'll come back and finish it after this on RustlerAthletics.com. .104 remaining in the ball game. 74-73. Lamar out in front, resetting your game clock. 15 lead changes, 12 ties in the contest. And we are going to see Lamar with the basketball, dressed in their road blues. Montgomery, Haywood, Whitaker, Wiggins, and Joseph.
Then if you took a look at the way the game was played, CWC has probably had the lead more minutes.
Yeah, the majority of the game, yeah.
But right now they trail at an important time.
Whitaker takes the inbounds. He's got DeHeer on him. Richard, Koch, Searles, and Gentry also out on the court with him.
Also not a time to study free throw shooting yet either early in the year.
Yeah, there's a nice floater down the lane. Whitaker, he's got 11, assuming he's got 10 now.
That seemed like an odd choice, in fact.
Inside of a minute left to play in a one-possession game still, 76-73. High post, Searle. Back out top, Gentry. Right side, DeHeer. Abdi for 3, good. Ties the game again. Big bucket by the sophomore.
Well, he has extended his game, both with his ball handling and his shooting.
15 points for DeHeer. Game clock and shot clock 6 seconds separated. Shot clock ahead by 6 seconds of the game clock. Whitaker, got to think perhaps Wiggins here, but Haywood's done a pretty good job. Shot clock at 9. Whitaker pump fakes the 3, gives it in the corner to Wiggins. He'll lean in for an 8-footer. Off the mark, Koch the rebound. Central, are they going to run with it? Yes, they will. DeHeer, 4 seconds. 1 second, he won't get the shot off. Well, he does, and it's an air ball, and we'll go overtime. I'm kind of interested why there was maybe not a timeout called, as they had a timeout.
I think they were wondering if there was going to be one even, because nobody made that effort.
We'll play free basketball. Overtime headed your way. 76 apiece after 40 minutes of hoops. This is KCWC FM Riverton, student radio for Central Wyoming College, and overtime is next. 5 minutes on the clock. 76-76.
John checking to see if the request lines are open.
Yeah, I was trying to see why they didn't play more Miley Cyrus out there, as we'll set him up for overtime. And here's where foul attrition really could come back on Lamar, with one already disqualified. So they have one sub on the bench. They have 3 others with 4 fouls in Whitaker, Haywood, and Osborne.
I was amazed they finished with 5, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
And with 1 to spare.
You predicted they wouldn't, as Abdi Dahir out-muscles Wiggins. They just let him battle for it, and he takes the ball away. Central first on the attack here in the overtime. Free basketball from Rustler Media. 3 on the way. Richard, no good. Abdi Dahir jumps in. They'll call it jump ball.
That's an interesting call, because the jump was when he was out of bounds.
I think you're right. The arrow, though, will flip back to Central. They'll pick up a little token full court pressure. Central foul trouble. Searles has 4. Sims has 4. Koch has 4. Right now, Searles and Koch on the floor. Sims, haven't seen him in a while, actually.
But we have a bench of 6, however.
Right side, Haywood's 3 is an air ball. Haywood had 20 points, has 20 points. He has 15 of that in the first half, 5 of it in the second half. And each team with a possession here in the extra period, and we are still even at 76 apiece. Searles to Koch, into the lane to here. Abdi back to the basket, back up top, Davis Richard. Working perimeter still, 10 to shoot now. Gentry runs down the lane, foul by Joseph, and that'll be 4 on him. So 1 is fouled out. Everybody else has 4 except for Kavon Wiggins, who has 3 personals for Lamar. Gentry will go to the stripe. He has 7 points. Has a 3-pointer and 4 free throws. Second one, actually first is on the way, no good. Somebody keeps asking. It's 2, right? Right before the player shoots. Somebody from Lamar, you can hear the voice.
It was 2 about 3 minutes into the second half, it felt like, but.
No, they're asking, yeah, exactly. But somebody asks that right before he shoots, and he gets the second one.
I suppose on a and 1, you could maybe, if you're
77,
then.
76. 16 lead changes, 13 ties in this North versus South Region 9 sub-region battle. Whitaker, 3-pointer at the top, got it. Nice job, Bryce Whitaker. He's got 13 points. And lead change number 17 in the ball game. Big bucket by Bryce Whitaker.
If I'm CWC, I would think about driving almost every time.
Air ball on the other side real quick as Lamar ends up with a basketball. Yeah, with the free throw situation and the attrition, you're absolutely right. 79-77. Lamar the lead in the basketball, taking a little air out of it. Whitaker, dish to Joseph. He'll lay it off glass and in. Nice
great
dish.
Pass. Yeah.
Nice dish by Whitaker.
Underhand little, shovel there.
And that's going to give Lamar a 4-point lead with 2:45 left to play in the overtime. Richard, baseline, Dahir. Abdi turns, misses. Rebound coming out of it is Joseph.
CWC has stayed with this lineup for quite a while, other than, I think Koch coming in and out a little bit.
Yeah, he and Levias have traded spots, and Levias getting ready to check in on the next whistle. Nice defense. Searles, good rebound by Koch. Good job by Jalen Searles on the defense there on Haywood. Gentry's going to go the distance. They'll miss it, though, and
I think Gentry may have forced the contact there, actually.
Wiggins on Koch, misses the bucket. Koch battling for it. Wiggins ends up with it, and Koch will foul out of the basketball game.
Well, he was going to come out, I think, here anyhow, but maybe not permanently.
Going to be subbed out. He'll be disqualified with his 5th personal foul. 1.1 rebound for Kaden Koch. Well,
But there's more to it than that.
The rebounds is not there. He had more rebounds than one. As we'll get a timeout on the floor, but he did end up scoring just one here today for Kaden Koch. Full timeout called by Lamar with a 4-point lead and 2:03 remaining in the ball game.
Maybe.
Overtime, yes, maybe the way this one has gone. Watch all Rustler home games on rustlerathletics.com, and you can listen to them on 88.1 FM. Find links through the team's social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and on rustlerathletics.com for games at home and away. You can also check our Rustler Radio Facebook page for links to watch the Orange and Black when they're on the road. Again, all home games are here on rustlerathletics.com and on 88.1, and we'll effort and figure out and work as to why our local cable public access channel 189 is not functioning, but we'll work on that.
And then there's the HDMI cord. You can, go from the computer to your TV.
There you go.
There you go.
Or
talking technical, man.
Screen mirroring or Chromecast.
Huh?
There you go, yeah. Kavon Wiggins will go to the line as he will shoot a pair. We definitely appreciate those of you logged on to rustlerathletics.com. Over 200 and some viewers as Kavon Wiggins makes it a 5-point ball game at 82-77. I think maybe if the free throw goes down, matching their largest lead of the game, and it's not going to matter anyways. He doesn't get it to go. Searles the rebound, down by 5, 2 minutes left to play in overtime. Gentry to Davis Richard, back to Jalen. Working that perimeter as we see Trey Sims back into the ball game as well for Central out of that timeout. Trey's been sitting for a while, got to come back in and get warmed up a little bit. 9 to shoot. Pump fake, shot Levias, missed it. And the rebound by Kavon Wiggins.
And they're backing off the defense, and it seems like it's throwing CWC off a little bit.
A little soft on that and couldn't get it to drop. 90 seconds left to play in overtime. Wiggins lost it. It goes off the hands of Levias, though, and Lamar will gather it back in with 12 to shoot. Left side pump fake. Wiggins penetrates. He will be mugged, basically, and no call. Coming away with it, and a steal by Whitaker at half court, and he's fouled immediately by Sims, who will get his 5th personal foul. Wow, Central, I think, got away with a pretty good couple of fouls in there. Ended up with a basketball, but then how about Bryce Whitaker heads up play at half court to steal that back. 62 seconds left in the ball game.
Pretty lengthy conversation that time between Coach Sellers and Wiggins there right on the bench. Kind of a head-to-head there, touching even.
Whitaker's free throw is no good as they're not.
Well, leaving the door open a bit for CWC.
Not sealing it. That was the 40th free throw of the game by Lamar. Central has shot 29. We've seen 69, now 70 free throws, and he missed them both. Wow.
Well, that's 3 points they left there.
Abdi baseline, runs around his man. They'll let him go, and he'll miss it. Abdi was wide open on that baseline. They let him go to not pick up another foul, and he missed the shot.
And they missed several here, not particularly difficult shots, it seems like.
And they're back on defense, and a reach foul on Abdi Tahir will be his 3rd personal.
Yeah, and sooner or later they're going to make some of these free throws.
Abdi has 11 in the second half, 15 for the game. And yeah, Montgomery back to the line, and he'll snap nylon on that one.
And this is a big one, too. It would make you a 7-point lead if he could make this free throw.
The 3 possessions with 40 seconds left, and does.
Their biggest lead, in fact, I think.
84-77. Gentry across the timeline, pump fakes the 3, and then almost throws it away. Ball was batted. Searles, right-hand runner, good, and then they're going to give the foul to Haywood, who was retreating. No, they're not. They're going to give it to Montgomery, who is only his 2nd personal foul. But and 1 nonetheless for Jalen Searles. He's in double figures with 10 now.
Plus if you make the free throw, you can set up the press much easier.
Klumak in for Abdi Tahir. Still a 5-point game with 30 seconds left. Shot clock no longer a factor for Lamar as he gets the free throw. And a 30-second timeout called by Brad Schmidt. 84-80 Lamar, 30 seconds left in overtime. Lamar with the basketball, they'll go full court when we come back after this on 88-1. Central Wyoming College at Riverton, Wyoming. We're at Rustler Gym watching the Lamar Lopes and the Central Rustlers in overtime, 84-80. Lamar leading, they've got the basketball. And then a foul away from the basketball on Jalen Gentry. I think he was just about to get a technical, but he does not get a T.
If that foul occurs before the ball's thrown in, is it not a technical?
That is a very good question. Apparently not, as they don't give it to him as a T. And no time off the clock, and Whitaker has 14 points now. This is free throw number 45 on the day for Lamar.
That could be another record we're talking about.
He misses. 29 of 45, 64%. Underneath Klumak, rejected by Montgomery, thrown out of bounds off of a Lamar player by Davis Richard.
But 10 seconds gone there.
20.9 left in the game in a 5-point contest. Lob up top, nobody home. Montgomery takes it, he'll go flushing.
That should put the wraps.
7-point Lamar advantage. Davis Richard, another three. Halfway down, comes all the way out, and that will probably seal the fate. Haywood across the timeline. Central not playing defense. 2 seconds, 1 second. The overtime win on the road for Lamar. In overtime, your final score, Lamar 87, Central 80. As this one is over and the teams will head to their locker room, Lamar now 1-1. Central will drop to 0-2 on the basketball season. Once again, your final in overtime. It is Lamar 87. It is Central 80. And we'll be back with some post-game stats after this timeout. This has been Rustler Basketball from 88.1, streaming live on rustlerathletics.com. This is your Buckle Up for Life Wyoming postgame show, brought to you by our friends at WYDOT and that 511 app. that may be coming in handy for these teams as they travel home today. A final score in this one. In overtime, Lamar defeating Central 87-80.
Matching their biggest lead of the game, in fact.
4 in double figures, led by Kavon Wiggins, 25 points. Khalil Haywood had 20, 15 of that in the first half. Tim Montgomery ends with 15. Bryce Whitaker, 14. 5 points apiece for Alex Lawrence and Donato Joseph, and 3 points for Will Osborne in the ball game for their 87 in the overtime. Central with 80 points, 5 in double figures for them today, led by Abdi Dahir, the sophomore, with 15 points. Johnny Levias had 12. Davis Richard, 14 points today on the strength of 4 3-pointers. Jalen Searles had 11. Trey Sims had 11. He had a couple of threes in the ball game as well. 8 points for Jalen Gentry and 2 points for Jack Klumak. 3 points for Caleb Koski. 3 points for Sebastian Gaza, and 1 point for Kaden Koch. And it was kind of interesting how 13, almost everybody played in that first half, and then it was pretty much a much shorter roster in that second half for Coach Schmidt.
For both teams.
As we looked at the 7 for Lamar. And you thought that they would not finish with 5 players, and not only did they survive that, they survived the overtime, an extra 5 minutes on top of that.
And I thought backing off defensively kind of threw CWC a little bit. They were thinking they were going to be playing through contact, and there wasn't any. The shot seemed to be off a bit.
87-80, our final. Lamar victorious in overtime. And normally on our post-game show we chat with our head coach Brad Schmidt, but we're not going to get that done today. We'll hopefully get that worked out for future times. But rough day for Central basketball as our ladies were beaten 113-28 earlier, and our men fall in overtime 87-80. So Rustler women 0-3, Rustler men 0-2, and tough road trips on the road to Snow and, well, I guess to Western Wyoming to play Snow and Salt Lake, two tough teams out of that Region 18.
You got the Powers to the east in western Nebraska. Now you go to the Powers to the west.
Definitely. Our volleyball team 2-2 on the weekend. They'll be hopefully in action at home Tuesday when they take on the Rocky Mountain JV. I want to thank TJ Hester and Wyatt Barichka and Riley Bouillon for their help as my students broadcasting here this weekend for the games that didn't involve CWC, and thank them as we'll hear much more from them as the season goes on as well. For Joel Kindle, I'm John Gabrielson. This has been Rustler Basketball from Rustler Media, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Catch more at rustlerathletics.com and on our Facebook page and social media as well.